I think we've got Comm ready to go here. Let's try to bring him into the call in the post match interview presented by XRocker. Comm, I don't know how to make this easy on you, man. It's a tough one here. I guess I'm just gonna kind of give you the open floor and let you kind of speak your thoughts.
Um, I mean, tough loss. Gave up too many dumb goals, too many. Or we threw away the first few games. Definitely should have won two of those at least. But I don't know. We haven't been playing well recently, as you could see in the grid, most recent regional. I think we started to kind of click more in the end of that series and some of those later games. But um, I think we've got a lot to go over and a lot to work on here.
Yeah, it felt like it was coming together a bit more there at the end. I think one of the other things to talk about too, I mean, yes, there's been some mistakes. Yes, there's some areas obviously that are not clicking the way that they were before, but eh, the defenses of these teams for some reason just seem to stand so tall recently. And is that something you guys are noticing going up against? Like there's some saves that to us on our end at least just feels like should not have been saved. I think you had a cross shot where Alpha kept somehow from near post where you shot it from does a back flip into like a reverse boost to get back to make the save in the back corner. Like just those types of plays that we don't see very often seem to be happening time and time again. Is that having any effect on your guys' morale at all on the field?
It definitely. I mean, I don't think it has much of an effect like in the game, but it really sucks like after the fact. Like we had, especially like in that last game, we had so many chances to score. So many times the ball just like, frankly, should have just gone in the net, but it didn't. And I think like in the moment we're kind of able to move past it and whatnot. But after like the game, it really sucks. It's like, man, we really should have won that. We kind of got scammed. Granted, I mean, we didn't play well, but um, a lot of those, especially in that last game, should have definitely gone in.
Out of curiosity, and I don't want to kind of keep twisting the knife here, just from our perspective, because we can only see so much from the feed that we're getting. That shot where I think Torment was possibly trying to go for a redirect. I don't know if he was able to notice that. I don't know if that was going in top right or not. It looked like it might have been a little bit high, and he was trying to like play it back inside for a goal or even a pass down. But from your perspective, I don't know if you were able to see it. What was the situation there from the play developing?
I'm pretty certain it was in. Just I don't think Torment realized it was in, so you can't really fault him for going for it. I mean, it kind of
Right.
happens if it's not like we can really comment and tell him it's in. It's a split section or second decision right there. But I think the ball definitely was in, but you can't really. Yeah, like I'm not upset. I can't fault him or anything. I very well could have done the same thing.
I mean, with how their defense has been playing, of course you got to go for the redirect because somehow they're going to save it anyway, right? So, no, don't blame
Yeah.
Tom at all or Torment at all.
Yeah. So I mean, unfortunately, this loss it removes the safety net for making it into the major here, which is going to put a little bit more pressure kind of going into the regional, which is going to be coming up. We'll be kicking that off. What's the day? Tuesday. So 2 days from now, Thursday, we'll be back here for the day zero. Um, how are you guys feeling overall, and what are you looking for out of the performance in the regional? You guys have a bare minimum that you've set as this is the bar for this weekend. This is where we're going. I know I ask you guys this every time, but where is that like bottom minimum expectation for the weekend?
Honestly, I don't know if I have many expectations. I think it definitely comes down to how we play. I like really think that if we get together tomorrow, we get together before we try to talk about what's going on. We try to improve on what we've been doing, and I think we can do really well. Um, but I don't think I have any specific thing in mind. I just want to make it as far as possible.
I think it's a good mindset, man. Obviously, the last regional is kind of the last hurrah for this particular season. Um, what do you think that does to mentality? Is knowing like, hey, this is our last. This is kind of like our send off. This is our last chance to really showcase before we enter what may be a 5 month off season possibly because obviously RLCSX championships is not an option. So I guess what does that do for you guys mentally? Does it allow you to kind of go in with a lack of pressure and just some like upbeat vibes and be like, yo, let's have fun, let's crush some kids, let's what's the goals going in, knowing that you guys are essentially playing for money and upset, which I mean, I've seen you play Warzone, man. I know you like to play upset and kind of troll a little bit. So, what's the mentality you're going with, man?
Yeah, I definitely think there's less pressure coming into the end of the season. There's less expectations. It's like it's not this regional doesn't really mean as much as the ones before did. So I think there's less pressure overall for it, and I think we can definitely I think we can definitely do well. I think that'll the lack of pressure will probably help us. I think we'll play a lot better. Just, most teams play a lot better when they have nothing left to or nothing to lose. So
All right. Well, before this gets too far into this, I'm going to jump in and do a question that we did to Fireburner earlier because Fireburner didn't have quite as much time, and I think you're going to have enough time to give us an answer on this one. Uh, so, I'm one. Are you aware of the question that was asked to Fireburner?
no,
Good, good. Then we get a fresh question with a fresh answer. Then, or I
Good
guess
luck.
reused question, fresh answer. But if you could choose to live in any pop culture world universe of a game, a movie, a TV series, what would it be? So MCU, Elder Scrolls is one we used as an example earlier for video games. Anything of your choice.
hmm, I don't know. That's kind of hard. I played or I a few weeks ago. I've been playing quite a bit of Valheim. That game's pretty fun. Maybe something like that. Kind of in the same vein as Elder Scrolls, but I don't really want to die to a dragon. So probably probably something closer to that.
Okay. I
I
think I
feel
came up with an answer.
similar
Something just
sentiment,
clicked in
Colin. I
my
don't feel
head
like
here.
dying to a dragon either, brother. Like that doesn't sound like a good time.
I think I think I have one that just came to me that kind of solves that problem. I think I would go with a sword art universe, not where I'm locked in the like virtual world and can actually die in it, but where that tech exists and I can literally just escape into any world I want. So maybe I'll take that one because then I can truly be the video game nerd at home that just escapes all reality and I can just jump into any world and do whatever I want.
That'd be kind of sick.
Well,
Kind of sick.
one
Maybe
thing
Maybe
kind of a
tech will
cop
get
out
there
definitely
someday,
answer
man.
because
not
whatever I want, but
def-
like,
definitely not Rocket League.
Rocket League just driving around getting blown up, like having
Yeah,
to get blown up, have to come back, just
rematerialized.
relive that explosion over and over and over again. Yeah, that's probably not the one.
Yeah, it's a tough one, man. Com, obviously I know we've got stuff like for you guys on Thursday and the weekend still, but um I kind of asked Fireburner this question as well. Obviously, there's a long off season coming up. And I'm curious on your opinion of it as well. Obviously, teams are gonna have to kind of go in with the mentality of, hey, there's essentially another 10, 11 months that we're gonna have to stick with the same roster when season 11 rolls around, right? And we've got 5 months before that happens. If you had to, what is your general prediction, I guess, of the chaos that will be the off-season roster changes or anything else? Fireburner obviously says, it's kind of a domino effect, top down. Once the big guys make their decision, like I think a lot of people are waiting to see what G2 does and everything else, but from there, it's just going to be what feels like pure chaos. But what do you think, in your opinion, should be the mentality for teams that, like a team like Dignitas, right? New roster, 5 months. Do they stick with what they got? Do they keep grinding? Like, how do you think teams should approach this long off time?
I think if you have relatively solid results, I think most teams should definitely consider sticking together because, like you said, it's a long off season, but it's an even longer season. So whatever team you go with, you don't want to just end up like a completely, especially like in the case of Dignitas, where they already have a brand new team. I don't think you want to scrap what you have, make a new team, and then get locked with that, and then it's not working, and you're stuck with it for the next 12 months, the entire season. So I think most teams are probably like most of the top teams at least are definitely going to consider just maintaining their current rosters and going forward together.
If you had to give me
How
a
many of them do you?
number,
Oh,
yeah, give me a number of like what place should you be like, you might want to mix it up, bud. Like, if we're looking at the standings, is it top six? Is it like below 16? Is it 12? Is it who should be being like, maybe you want to throw out some shade? Maybe there's a couple teams where you're like, bro, you should change it up.
No, I have no shade to throw. Honestly, I don't. I
Hey,
don't think you can put a
I'll try
number on
chat.
it because different teams have different expectations. If NRG gets top, 8, they're not happy. They want number one. They want to be the best every single time. But there are other teams like if you get or that if they were to get top 8, it's the best result that they've ever had. They're performing extremely well for their standards. So I don't know if there's really a way you can put a number on it.
Do you think that roster mania starts as soon as the season ends, or do you think we're going to see where these teams wait until the last possible moment? Like if a G2 doesn't pull the trigger on their change until 3 days before a roster lock, does that mean we don't see any teams change, or do you think teams will try and make the change early and we'll see those announcements come out and get to see those teams start to practice and play, community tournaments and these other events until the season starts? Is it better to get in early, or is it better to wait to see what your options are closer to the start of the next season?
I think it's probably going to be a mix of the two. I imagine most teams that do end up making moves or that at least end up trying things are probably it'll probably be a few months before anything gets out or anything's announced and whatnot, or before they actually make any final decisions. Because I don't think there's no rush. I mean, you have 5 months. You don't need to find a new third in a week. You can try a bunch of different people out if you want. You can take your time. Um, and I don't think there's really much of a rush. Granted, you don't want to wait until the very last second. Um, but I think most teams it'll probably be maybe like 3 months or so before most teams probably end up making any kind of announcement.
Makes sense,
All
man.
right.
We saw the exact same thing happen with this roster. Red Enterprise was a prime example. Took their time, tried out 5 different iterations, try to figure out, each tournament, and eventually settled with, AXB and then brought in Comm. So, you never know what happens. It's Rocket League's a tough one, man. But I'm excited to see how you guys do in the regional comm. Before we let you go, last question. Obviously, floor is always yours, but shout outs, anything you want to say, any stuff about the regional that you want to, whatever insight, leaving it broad and open to you so you don't feel limited in any capacity, Comm.
Um, I'll say recently I've been very excited however I've been performing individually. So if you want to check out my Twitch, I'm probably going to be streaming a lot more. Probably going to be trying to get my hours out or up and play the game a lot more. So if you want to stop by there, twitch.tv/comrl. Um, yeah, planning to be streaming a lot more in the coming days, coming weeks.
Love to hear it, man.
Cool.
Love to see you grind. Win as a team, lose as a team, either way, Comm. But again, tough loss here and gonna have to close it out early. But again, right back at it in a couple days, man. We'll see you on Thursday, all right?
Yeah, see you.
Have a good one, Comm. Thanks again.